How's it going, guys? It's Nutshell, and today we're on labs, and the primary focus of today is to showcase off one of the easiest and quickest loot runs that you can do to make yourself a little bit of money. And we're going to start off by coming up to the servers. It's just because we spawned literally right next to them, and we're literally just searching up to see if we can get ourselves a graphics card. Obviously, looting up servers, very good and useful to have a look for some of the better items that you can get with regards to GPUs. And there you go, of course, the luck of the streaming or YouTube has come in. We've done this run quite a few times, haven't obviously got any beforehand, but you know, we do this time. There's a poster spawn on the wall right here, so if you're after some of the high tier posters, some of them are worth, you know, a couple hundred to 2.5 million if you get the anime one of Killer and Tagilla, etc. But I think you need to actually run interchange for that, but you can get some posters on the wall up there. So if you can get yourself some of those, then that would be nice, and you can always pick those off. You got food spawn, so if you're doing this run in reverse, you can get yourself some energy for your next couple of raids, etc. But then what we'll do is we will head on down here. We will be coming back up to here, and you can essentially jump down this to avoid, you know, having to run down the stairs and stuff. Now, when we come over to here, this is where we are going to be spending most of the time on this kind of runs that we will be doing. So we'll make our way over to the black room. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a torch, at least on this weapon, because we're using the Velociraptor. You can't actually put one on, I don't believe. But you can check the stims that are actually in the room and see if you can get yourself a LEDX. So that is primarily what we're trying to do right here. So you can see quite a few stims, quite a few over there, and therefore it might be worth actually opening up black. Sometimes if you've got a torch, you can shine it through. You can see if there is any LEDXs on the floor over there. But we'll open it up, we'll go inside. We've got ourselves some adrenaline. We are running 2 injectors cases, so we can shove any of those up our backside should we need to. Really, you're searching for mules and stuff that are super expensive. And of course, ophthalmoscopes, that sort of stuff is always beneficial as well. And of course, the main item in here is trying to get yourself some of those LEDXs. We'll drop in all of those into our backside, and there we go. We can drop in that as well. And then you want to check on top of the chairs. We've got some more spawns over by this chair. And then, yeah, you can find LEDXs in between there. You can also find it on the end over here as well. And then you want to check by this bed, can have some more stim spawns. And then inside the main room over here is more stim spawns and some pretty decent ones. So we probably didn't make our money back, at least in terms of this one, since we didn't get, you know, some of the best ones. But we probably made about, you know, 400k, something like that. But black keycard right now, if you do the barter for it, is actually would be worth it, because it's about 4 million for the actual barter trade from mechanic to get the black keycard, whereas if you buy it off the fleet, it is definitely not worth doing. So I mean, in terms of saving you time and money, it's may not even be worth opening it up. But remember, you're primarily looking for the LEDXs as opposed to anything else. So now what we'll do is do a quick check down the corridor, and we're going to make our way over towards the blue room. And you want to always be checking around. PMC behavior has changed since we last did any videos. We'll close this door because PMCs can be in that room over there. And then we'll make our way over to the blue room to check up the green keycard spawn and have a quick peek into the blue room as well. You can actually see the white indication marker to tell you if there's any loot around. As you can see right there, there's a stim. You can find yourself LEDXs inside of these, so sometimes you can actually see them. And then you can always have a look on top of the desk over there, especially if you've got a sight on your weapon, to see if there's anything worth grabbing up. And then you can do the exact same thing. Look in this room, see if there's anything there. There's a stim on top of there. And then check on these. There's a stim on there. And then really you're looking to see whether you or not you want to roll the dice on it. Most of the time it's not worth it ever opening up blue unless you can pretty much see something highly valuable, which we can't anyway in this build with this weapon. There's also a poster spawn that can spawn on here, so always worth checking up there for a poster that you can take. And then we want to be double checking all of the corridors. And we'll close up this door. And then we'll close this door as we run through. You got yourself a dead PMC, which we can actually loot up, see if we can get anything decent off of him. Sometimes you get some decent ammo that you can take, as well as some other kind of gear and components. In here, we will run straight in, open up here. That also turns on the power, and we check the civilian body. Now, the body itself is pretty decent. You can get some decent items, some rare loot and stuff. You've also got this little med bag that can spawn over here. There's tons of med bags in here, which is where the key of this run comes in. You've also got the main room, which we want to look in, which is the residential keycard room unit. And essentially, there's a spawn right there. There's also a spawn over there for the actual keycard itself. So we'll open it up to show you what's in there. And this is where the majority of money is going to come from. Now, on the shelves are spawns for both blue intel folders and intel folders, and rare loot spawns on here as well. So always worth checking on there. The beds themselves have like 3 or 4 different spawns for rares. And underneath the bed, you can also find weapons. Now, we haven't found any on this one so far. So it's a pretty tame experience of this as it goes right now. But on top of the desk, you'll also find some spawns for rares, as well as underneath the desk as well, and on the floor. You can see we've got a clock and a lion over here, and then you always want to be checking under the actual slats of the bed, because there can be bitcoins and GP coins and rares underneath, eggs, that sort of stuff as well. So side to side, and then you can loot. It's not too difficult. Bitcoin spawn and a rare spawn on the chair. And then we've got ourselves a duffel bag. Make sure to always check the duffels, as they can have a wide variety of decent items in as well. And that is pretty much it. Then what we'll do is we'll run directly into the room over here, which is just to the right of the entrance. And then check the coffee cup. This is where a residential keycard can spawn. And then we got some actual med spawns in here as well. We'll move these about. And then you've also got stim spawns that spawn, so an SJ6 there. So always worth looking in here just for the stim spawns, even if you don't care about the key. There's lots of loot in here as well. Duffel bag spawn on the opposite side. Got ourselves a power cord, and there we go. And then anything else? Nope. And then we'll move over to here, which is the other room. Got ourselves another medbag spawn. The reason why we're searching all of the medbags is for that LEDX chance. I would 100% be checking them, as they definitely do spawn. Under here is a spawn for the access key card to that room that we were just in, as well as on top of here, so literally directly on there. And then you want to have a look around the table, see if you see any stims. On this table right here is a ton of stim spawns that can spawn. There's a splint with an XTG under it. We can drop that one out. And then sometimes some bags can spawn under there, and you also get stims on here and med items. Over here, there's also a spawn for the keycard as well on that desk. And then we'll drop those in to our injectors case. Make sure that we do guarantee our money back from the raid, even if we do get taken out. Over here, there's a med bag that spawns on this table. And then inside of here, we can find the actual keycard as well on this table too. So we search over there, med bag. Can we get our stims? Yes, we can. So that's that. And then we're looking around. Can we see any more stims that do spawn? There's a mule. So a little bit more money. And a grizzly. Cool. Duffel bag spawn over here. With just another grizzly in it. Okay. Not quite what we're after. And then you want to be checking all over the desk as well, because there can be more stim spawns on here too. Not too long spending running around. There's a like a med bag spawn down there, and then on the desk you got more stim spawns as well. And then behind here you'll also find yourself a spawn for the access keycard, so always worth checking there. And then of course we've got ourselves the spawn as well for med items on here. And then we've got some more spawns for medical bags or medical boxes, whatever you want to call them. Can we get a LEDX? No, we can't. Cool. And then there's another med bag that can spawn over here. It's like med bag haven over here. Do we get anything? No, we don't. And there we go. So that is pretty much the room in its entirety. So nothing too spectacular in here. But we also want to check over by this folder. There can be a spawn for the keycard just behind it, right by, you know, this room, which is directly as you come into the room. We've also got a PC that we can pick. So always worth checking in here. Got to sell some of the Christmas items, and then we've got a load of weapons that do spawn. So a spear. Most of these are fully kitted out as well, so always worth it just to sell directly to traders. We won't take any of those because we'd rather have the actual space. And then you get some of the best ammo in the game literally spawning on the bottom of these M995, FMJ, and then you've got a wide variety of other items as well, or ammo spawns over there. And then that is pretty much it in terms of the spawns. There is the keycard spawn, which is directly over there and also on top of the chair. Those are the other two areas. It's 100% guaranteed spawn for the actual keycard itself. And then we've got ourselves the weapon box as well, so we can shove that in our backpack. It's about 200k for the key. And we can check the weapon box. So we'll grab that one up. And nothing else. Cool. Now when you open up the door, you need to be careful, as PMCs and raiders can move through here. But what I'll now usually do is make our way down the stairs. Always check to the left as you're coming through here. Now with the new AI behavior, they can be anywhere, so checking around the corners. And then sometimes they will actually be in here. So you always want to be quite careful. Depending on how long you spawn in the raid or stay in the raid, you'll find that raiders do actually spawn downstairs. So this can be an issue. They're usually in this sort of area right here, or they can be directly just down the corridor. So when you're peeking around, do a little quick circle, and then always be checking, closing up the doors behind you. And then we'll make our way over to where you can use the drop down from the server room. If you're coming down from there, you can run and you end up like jumping on top of this, which stops you from breaking your legs. Otherwise, you will break your legs jumping down from there. And then we'll come out of this room and we'll make our way over to turn on the elevator. And that is the end of the run. So you want to be careful, because when you turn on the power, you can get the raider spawn down the end of the corridor, and then you're just listening for any door openings. Since we've closed all of the doors, you'll hear them, any PMCs or raiders trying to come from behind you essentially. And then once the elevator is open, we can make a sprint over here, turn on the actual elevator, and we are out from the raid. So a super simple, quick and easy kind of run through of a labs run without needing any keys. And the amount of money that you can make just simply from the run itself is about 1 to 2 million per raid with absolutely no requirements. That's how much you make just from running labs with no keycards whatsoever. You can obviously get keycard spawns during the route, and depending on where you spawn on the map, you can also loot up other areas. So this is kind of just a run that you can add on to the additional runs that you might already be doing on labs to earn, you know, anywhere from 1, 2, or maybe even 3 million, and sometimes even upwards of that. And of course, with the poster spawns that do spawn around, you know, you can get additional stuff too. So I thought I'd showcase it off today, and hopefully you do enjoy this one. Let me know what you think, and of course like it if you did like it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.